Welcome to Learn Crypto TV. Get ready to immerse yourself in the dynamic world of cryptocurrencies and blockchain technology with Blockchain Beat. As your trusted weekly source for the latest updates, we deliver real-time news and insightful analysis. Stay informed and empowered in the fast-paced realm of crypto as we unveil its mysteries and unlock its vast potentials. Join us on a thrilling journey and equip yourself with the knowledge to stay ahead of the game with Blockchain Beat. Let's take a look at our ISO 20022 compliant coins or tokens for this week's performance. Okay, family, so taking a look at this week's performance for the ISO 20022 compliant standard tokens, we don't see for the weekly performance too many coins in a green space, with the XDC network coming in overall with the top spot with 2.3% over the week, and IOTA directly behind it with just under 1% at 0.7. So we don't see large portions of a great performance in these standard tokens. But if we look at the year column, we see XRP up 34%, we see Quant up 23.6%, and we also see XDC again with 15.4 for top 3 for the year. So let's try to use this as an opportunity to fill up our bags with these particular tokens, because this is a time to buy and set yourself up for that generational situation or wealth that you're talking about for your family. So, all right, family, let's jump into the news and see what's going on this week in crypto. In a recent investigation, the Commodities Futures Trading Commission has found that the popular crypto lending platform Celsius and its former CEO violated regulatory rules. The CFTC investigators have concluded that Celsius engaged in activities that required registration as a commodities trading platform without obtaining the necessary license. Additionally, the former CEO is accused of making false statements and misleading investors. BlockFi's bankruptcy plans have been met with opposition from the U.S. Securities Exchange Commission, FTX Exchange, and Three Arrows Capital. They are contesting that BlockFi's proposed allocation of assets and questioning the legality of its interest-bearing accounts. The SEC argues that these accounts should be classified as securities, subjecting BlockFi to additional regulations. Valkyrie, an investment firm, has filed a Bitcoin spot ETF, adding to the increasing number of applicants seeking approval for a Bitcoin ETF. The ETF would enable investors to gain exposure to Bitcoin without directly owning the cryptocurrency. The growing interest in Bitcoin ETF reflects the industry's desire to attract mainstream investors and provide regulated and accessible routes for them to invest into crypto. Binance is experiencing a wave of high-level departures amidst an ongoing probe by the SEC. Several key executives, including the chief financial officer and the chief compliance officer, have recently left the company. The exodus raises concerns about the exchange's ability to navigate the regulatory challenges and maintain stability. The SEC's investigation into Binance's operations has intensified regulatory pressure on the platform and has led to increased uncertainty amongst its users and investors. JPMorgan strategists believe that the SEC's approval of a spot Bitcoin ETF won't significantly impact the crypto industry. They argue that the limited size of the spot Bitcoin market and the potential for the supply constraints will limit the impact of such ETFs. The strategists suggest that the introduction of Bitcoin futures ETFs would have a more significant effect, as they would enable a broader range of investors to participate. Gemini, the cryptocurrency exchange founded by the Winklevoss twins, has recently filed a lawsuit against the digital currency group and its CEO Barry Silbert. The lawsuit revolves around the Genesis and Earn programs, which Gemini claims were stolen from them. The Genesis program enables users to buy and sell cryptocurrencies in large quantities, while the Earn program offers interest-bearing accounts for cryptocurrencies. Gemini alleges that DCG and Silbert obtained confidential information about these programs through their previous involvement with the company, and then used that information to launch similar services on their own. Gemini argues that the unfair competition has caused them significant harm and seeks compensation for damages. Asset management giant BlackRock has resubmitted its application for a Bitcoin exchange-traded fund after the SEC identified certain issues with its initial filing. The move indicates BlackRock's continued interest in offering a Bitcoin ETF to investors, which will provide a regulated and accessible way to invest in the cryptocurrency. Binance.US has witnessed a significant decline in its market share. As competition in the U.S. crypto market intensifies, Binance.US has struggled to maintain its position due to regulatory challenges and increased scrutiny from authorities. The exchange's market share has been eroded by other platforms such as Coinbase and Kraken, which have gained popularity among American users. Binance.US will need to address regulatory concerns and enhance its offerings to regain traction and compete effectively in an evolving U.S. crypto landscape. Binance faced regulatory scrutiny in Australia as authorities conducted a search of its offices as a part of a derivatives investigation. The Australian Securities and Investment Commission is reportedly investigating whether Binance complied with local laws related to offering derivative products in Australia. The search indicates an increased focus on regulatory compliance as a potential consequence for exchanges operating in Australia. Binance has been working to strengthen its regulatory standing worldwide. Okay, family, so you heard some of the news that's been happening this week in crypto, but what I want to do now is focus in on Galaxy Digital's CIO. He's going to share his opinion about the outlook for quarter number 3 and these Bitcoin ETF filings and see what he has to say. Leave your likes, comments, and share the video. And definitely, if you like to donate to the channel, please do using the CashApp. You can find that information down in the description. And also, please leave your comments or questions in the comment area, and I do what I can to get back to you as soon as possible. So I also have a crypto ebook that you can get for free at cryptokingcarlos@gmail.com. Write me there. All right, let's take a listen.
Bitcoin has had a stellar start to the year. I think it's up approximately 85% since the beginning of the year, absolute terms. But even when you risk adjust that, volatility adjusted, and so you think, look at the Sharpe ratio of Bitcoin, Bitcoin is still a top 5-6 performing asset globally of all assets. That includes the S&P, the Dow, every bank stock you can pick, you name it. Like, Bitcoin has proved to be a good asset fundamentally, at least a good performer. We have seen prior to the issue, to the conversation of even new ETFs popping up in Canada, we've seen inflows here at Galaxy across a number of different forums. We've seen the retail platforms today. Think of that as Square and Revolut and those kinds of global platforms. We've seen net positive inflows from retail, just buying and holding spot all throughout the year in part of this run up. On the institutional side, we've seen clients of the firm on our desk buying long-dated upside on Bitcoin in pretty healthy clips. And in other jurisdictions, like Canada, for example, over this month alone, we've seen net positive inflows into the Canadian ETFs in Bitcoin and in Ethereum. So those are all signs. They're all part of why the run-ups happened, and they're all real harbingers of what we think the back half of the year is going to be. And that's really before we even got to the conversation around the issuance in what is the largest ETF market in the world, in the US, of a potential access product.
Thank you for joining us on this edition of Blockchain Beat. We aim to keep you informed and inspired with our coverage of the latest developments in blockchain technology, from groundbreaking innovations to regulatory updates. You can count on us to be your trusted source of news and analysis, and together we will shape the blockchain to be a more decentralized, secure, and equitable place. We'll see you on next week's episode.